Hello everybody, it's your friendly GreenFlamingo, and if it looks a bit cramped on this video, it's because we are testing a 4x3 resolution. So, we are playing Counter-Strike Global Offensive on the Nvidia Quadro M2000, and normally I do not test lower resolutions than 1080p unless there's a particular reason to. But in this particular case, there is a reason to, and that is... on the Nvidia Quadro M2000, I could not get a very stable above 120 hertz and there was a lot of stutter at 1080p. At 768p, it was a lot snappier and smoother, a little more close to the more than 100 FPS barrier that it needs to kind of sort of stay at. But I also want to see how high can I get the frames. So here we are at 1024 by 768p. It's 4x3. Believe it or not, this is actually a pretty popular resolution in CSGO. A lot of people will stretch this resolution on their 1080p monitors to make the enemy heads a bit wider. It makes it a little easier to snap onto targets and hit them, albeit at a cost of making it a little harder to do long-range engagements. However, the main reason we're going to be testing this actually is because we haven't managed to hit 240 hertz consistently, and this card can theoretically go up to 300 hertz, so we're going to see how high we can get those frames. I mean, admittedly, if GPU usage gets too low, we might just be CPU bound, in which case I might have to, in a future series, plop this graphics card in a more powerful computer and see how the benchmarks change. But anyway, here we go. You might be wondering why we're playing CSGO. The answer is, well, because I'm going to test every Counter-Strike on my graphics cards, and that includes CSGO, and I'm kind of a little bummed that CSGO is no longer online. Anyway, so we're going to be doing this. I actually, on a couple other videos, played on expert bots, but today I don't quite feel like getting wrecked that hard. I mainly went up to expert bots on what will be videos after this one, mostly to demonstrate just how difficult these bots are. So I'm going to bring them down to hard just because they're a little not unfair sometimes, you know, 180 flicking me upon spawning, stuff like that. Anyway, we're going to get in. We're playing Dust 2. We are on competitive low settings, so shadows high, everything else low. Enough talking. Let's get going. I will start the frame graph as soon as the loading screen finishes, and then we will see if we can get some more FPS out of this game. So let's see. Anyway, yeah. Time to click some heads. I'm just gonna play. Anyway, I'm gonna do auto select. I'm gonna do F3 for random weapons because I kind of feel like it. And the graph starts now. It's a little bit clipped off because the text is a bit too large for 768p at this aspect ratio. And my gosh, I absolutely suck at using the scout. And my gosh, that was a nasty, nasty lag spike right there. I think it actually costed me on that 180 flick right there. I hear another one down there. Let's see. Our GPU usage is still pretty high, which indicates that this is, in fact, a GPU bottleneck, and I wasn't paying attention. So that's on me, not the PC's fault for that one. Anyway, where are you? I'm gonna get ya. There you go. Oh, that's a chicken. Never mind. Can't quite tell from this distance with how fuzzy this resolution looks on my 1080p screen. It shouldn't look very fuzzy on video, though, because I am capping it at 4x3 1440p, 1920 by 1440. And again, not paying attention. I really need to stop making that mistake. It's been mostly smooth ever since that one lag spike. Seems when spawning in, it can get a bit laggy, it seems. Bye. Bam. Reload. And he might get me before I made it over here! Alright, alright. We're in business now. I need to run and hopefully not get killed while I'm making my grand escape. I got very close to making that escape, but so far. Op is nice. I mean, inevitably I'm gonna get killed in like the stupidest way while using the op. Is probably what's gonna happen. You know, I'm gonna completely forget to, you know, spot an enemy, and then they're gonna get me. And or I am gonna whiff 3 shots in a row. How has he not noticed me by then? He should have absolutely saw me by then. Okay, this is precarious situation we're in. Alright, I at least took the one guy out of the 2 that were three that were engaging me out with me. Alright. When in doubt, just keep shooting. And get out of the way of that guy, and then just keep shooting. And then that is not a good day. Oh, darn! He's still shot through the window. I was thinking maybe if I were really lucky, I could hide behind the car and get the health shot going, but looks like so much for that plan. It's actually a pretty good spot to be in. Hi! Anyway. Oh gosh darn it! Alright, anybody else? This guy's gonna spawn here. And I'm gonna miss so many shots, I'm gonna have to actually pull my Glock out and still lose. Alright. AK, here we go. Today has just not been my best day. I keep whiffing all my shots. There we go. Just get a triple feed. Only really possible when playing against bots. But that's okay, because if you turn these guys on expert mode, they'll absolutely give you plenty of difficulty. Very nice. Oh, and then a person got behind me. All right. Need to remember to actually aim for the head. Well, that was fun. Just decided he would... Unfortunately, this is not Mario Brothers, and Goomba stomping me doesn't actually kill me in this game. P90 is surprisingly effective if you just stand still while trying to aim for the head. That guy just tried to get a point blank off me. Actually, very nearly succeeded, and I just got pincered. That guy, and then there was someone behind me that managed to jump in on that fight as well. If I aim for the head, that maybe would have ended in me not losing as much health. Ah, darn. Well, there's that one. Hi. I got the auto sniper. I can just wait, actually. Or you can jump in front of me and I miraculously land the hit. That looks so good. But yeah, that was totally fluke. Alright, I'm at the spot that is very graphically intensive and usually tanks frame rate. See how long I can hold it with an auto sniper. Fairly long because nobody's advancing right now.
Nice shot.
Really need to work on my accuracy. Anyway, enough of that. I'm gonna go somewhere else to get my kills now because I just wanted to make sure that was in the benchmark. Anyway. Second shot worked. He's gonna advance. There we go. Hit that shot. Oh, darn! He crouched just as I scoped in. Luckily, I got revenge. And I also got that guy. And, apparently if you stay totally silent, they'll sometimes fail to spot you. Got into a 1v2. That was unfortunate. If I actually stayed on the little corner I was at, I actually might have been able to isolate that into two 1v1s and not get into a 1v2 that ends up in my death. But, well, we know how incredibly good I am at, you know, avoiding avoidable deaths in this game.
Nice shot, my friend.
That guy must have been low health. That guy must have been low health too.
Very good.
Unfortunately, did not manage to aim close enough to the head, so took more than 2 shots. Oof. Bam. Bam.
Very good shot.
I think that corpse briefly did a really funny thing while it was ragdolling.
Very good shooting.
Bam. Oh, darn. I should have just kept shooting. All right. And that is a round. All right, so here are our averages. Our average frames was 173 frames a second, which is better. Not a lot better. I guess I'll have to go even lower on the resolution if I want to hit 240 FPS on this game, if it's even possible. And then from there, we have our lows here at 116 frames a second, which is a pretty noticeable improvement, actually. That is really nice. That means at least we're getting, like, consistently over 100 frames here. Our 1% low was 86 frames a second, which is, well, it isn't as bad as it was on higher resolutions. We'll see in future tests when I upload those. And our 0.1 lows were kind of unfortunate. And yeah, so our 0.1% lows, 19 frames a second, and I think that is mostly due to those 2 big lag spikes I had when I was spawning in. The one that that foiled my 180 flick attempt, and then the other one when I was spawning in. that's when those two lag spikes happened. I guess it's just really hard to get a perfectly stable frame rate in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. But overall, we're getting a pretty decent improvement here. I think we might have to test at 600p and 480p next, though, if we want to really get a proper, 240 frames a second. So anyway, that's it for today's benchmark. I will see you all in the next video. If you have a suggestion for a graphics card that I should test, let me know in the comment section below. I might already own it, or I might consider adding it to my collection if it happens to be one of the most popularly asked for. Anyway, I will see you all in the next video. Bye.